Welcome to class. Today we are going to continue our discussions on to Unit 8, Lesson 3. Describe effects of important decisions. Some people believe that their life is the result of the decisions that they made in the past. Do you believe that? In my life, I have become like this is because my decisions. I decided to leave my country to come to Cambodia to find a job. I got the job and I have been teaching in Cambodia for 6.5 years because of one decision that I made in the past. That was an important decision because after that decision, my life changed. And as I can see, 6.5 years in Cambodia is not something small because of one decision. Now in this exercise, I would like you to choose one decision that changed your life, one important decision. In here, you're given some questions to get some ideas on how to develop your ideas. For example, here, when did you make the decision? Where were you? Who did you talk to for advice? Why did you decide to make your change? Was the decision easy or difficult to make? What effect did it have on your life? I would like you to write one paragraph on this, a decision that you made that changed your life. You try to answer some of these questions. I think 8 to 10 sentences would be enough. Now here are some keywords that probably you want to use. Start or give up a hobby, a habit. For example, someone started smoking but then give up. That was a big decision. Stopping smoking is not easy. Why? Did you talk to someone about that? Go to college or choose a university or choose a major to study in the university. Leave your country. Well, maybe some of you are not from Cambodia and then you left your country. Or maybe you left your province to Phnom Penh to study or to work, to start a job or to change careers, to buy a home. Do you have enough money to pay? Do you need to borrow money from a bank or from your family members? A decision to have a baby. Alright? So please come up with one paragraph, nice paragraph, about a decision that changed your life. Before you start writing, you probably want to listen to these 3 decisions made by 3 people, Mei Ling, Sarah, and Roger. You can listen to them while reading the script. And then after that, you're going to answer some questions. First, what did they decide? Second, are they happy after they made that decision? Let's listen to the audio. After that, you can write the initials of the persons who made the decisions. Number 1, I stopped working a year ago. Who said this? Mei Ling, Sarah, or Roger? If you think it is Mei Ling, you write ML. If you think it is Sarah, you write S. If it is Roger, you write R.
Unit 8, page 98, track 15. Speaker 1, Mei Ling.
My father wanted me to work in the family business in China, like my brothers did, but I was never interested in that. I had always dreamed of going to study in another country, to study art. So when I finished school, I applied and was admitted to a university in Paris. It was a big decision to come here, leaving my family and friends, and coming to this country. Everything is so different here, but it has worked out very well. I met my fiancé Jun here, and we are planning to get married when I finish my degree. So I'm happy I came here. I wouldn't have met Jun if I hadn't come to France.
Speaker 2, Sarah.
My boyfriend was working nights as a lorry driver. We weren't very happy because we didn't really see each other. Then we went on holiday to Italy, and while we were there, we saw this old olive farm for sale. It needed lots of work doing to it, but it was beautiful, and we just fell in love with the house the moment we saw it. We came back to England, sold our house, left our jobs, and said goodbye to our friends. 2 months later, we drove down to Italy to start our new life growing olives to make olive oil. It was very hard for the first year, and we nearly changed our minds. We didn't have much money, and we knew nothing about farming olives or how to run our own business. But now things are much better, and we enjoy working together. I am glad we didn't have a change of heart. If we'd gone back to England, we wouldn't have been happy.
Speaker 3, Roger.
I stopped working a year ago when we discovered Jack, our 3-year-old son, had a kidney problem. Before that, I just worked all the time. All I thought about was making money for my family. But when we discovered Jack was seriously ill, it changed our world completely. I decided to give up my job so that I could spend more time with him. Now I pick up the children from school every day and we walk home through the park. It's been great to be with Jack, and now he has had an operation which hopefully will mean that his life will go back to normal. And what about me? Well, I won't be able to get my old job back, so maybe I'll change careers and start my own business. But for me, it was the right decision. If I'd stayed at work, I wouldn't have spent time with Jack when he really needed me.
The next material, this is the language point, past unreal conditional. Past unreal conditionals are used to show or to express your regrets. For example, you made a decision in the past, but because of your decision, then your life was miserable, was not good. Then you regretted what you decided in the past. For example, Roger, if I had stayed at work, the apostrophe D here means had stayed, I wouldn't have spent time with Jack when he really needed me. And here you see past perfect. If is followed by past perfect and then comma. After that you have, this is modal. Have spent is perfect. So modal plus perfect. And the reality is actually, if I had stayed at work, it means Roger did not stay. So it is contrary to the past reality. I wouldn't have spent means in reality, in the past, he spent time with Jack. So if the reality is negative, the if clause is positive. If the reality is positive, the if clause is negative. So in here, number 1, did Roger stay at work? No. Roger did not stay at work. And then the if clause is positive. If I had stayed at work. Number 2, did he spend time with Jack? Yes. Positive. He spent time with Jack. And the if clause, negative. Would not have spent. And here, mailing, I wouldn't have met June if I hadn't come to French. Did mailing come to French? Yes, she did. And the if clause, if I hadn't come, negative. So the reality is positive. She did come, but the conditional is negative. Number 4, did she meet June? Yes, she did. Positive. And then the if clause is negative. I wouldn't have met June. So again, it is contrary to past fact. You can read this active grammar, but I'm going to also show you in a PowerPoint presentation as follows. Let's take a look at this example. We are going to make conditional type 3, and the rule is past perfect and modal plus perfect. As you can see here, this is a past reality. I got up late, so I arrived at school late. Let's see how this changes in conditional type 3. This is past simple. In here, it becomes past perfect. Here, the past simple is positive. In the if clause, it becomes negative. I got up late becomes if I had not gotten up late. Next, so I arrived. This is positive. And here it becomes modal plus perfect. This is the modal, would not have arrived. Would and then plus have arrived. Because here it is positive, then in here it is negative. So this is the conditional type 3. You can put if in the front and then you have a comma, but you can also put I would not have arrived to work late in the front. I would not have arrived to work late if, but you don't have a comma here. Let's take a look at another example. I didn't give her a gift, so she was upset with me. Didn't give is past simple. And the if clause, here it is past perfect. Didn't give is negative. In the if clause, it is positive. Was upset is positive, becomes negative in here. Would not have been. Was becomes have been. The been is verb 3. And you can also inverse. She would not have been upset with me if, and there is no comma. Alright, I hope you can familiarize yourself with the rules here, and then let's try to do the exercise. Write past unreal conditional sentences using the cues. I went on vacation to Greece. I met my husband. Here, I went is past tense, positive. If I hadn't gone on vacation to Greece, you see here, past perfect and negative. Comma, I wouldn't have met my husband. I met is positive, becomes negative. Wouldn't have met. What about number 1? Taxis were very expensive. We didn't take one. Taxis were is positive. We didn't is negative. If taxis had not been very expensive, comma, we would have taken one. Here, the reality is positive, the if clause is negative. Here, the reality is negative, the if clause is positive. Let's try another. They didn't ask anyone for directions. They got lost. Here, didn't ask is negative. And then here, got is positive. If they had asked, positive, for directions, they would not have gotten lost. negative. Number 3. The weather wasn't very good. We didn't enjoy the trip very much. Wasn't negative, didn't negative. So we are going to have positive and then another positive. If the weather had been good, wasn't becomes had been, past perfect. Was becomes been. We would have enjoyed, would, and this is perfect. Number 4. It was raining, positive. They had a car accident, positive. If it had not been raining, was becomes had not been. They had a car accident, would not have had. This is the would, perfect, and then this is the verb. Would not have had. Number 5. I didn't see you when you passed me in the street. I didn't say hello. Didn't see, negative. Didn't say, negative. So we are going to have a positive and then another positive clause. If I had seen you when you passed me in the street, I would have said hello. Number 6. I wasn't hungry. I didn't eat lunch. Wasn't negative, didn't eat negative. So we are going to have positive and another positive clause. If I had been hungry, comma, I would have eaten lunch. Alright? So this is actually the exercise from the book that we have just discussed. How is everything now? Do you understand the concept? I'm going to write this exercise in our assignment so that you can retype and try to understand the if clause type 3. Goodbye for now. I will see you in my next video.